resting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the game week 17 of the Premier League. We are getting now down to where it really matters. Down to Christmas period and a run of fixtures that can possibly decide who wins the league and who goes down. Find all that out in this game week, which is coming up in a short while. Yes, boys, welcome to the Premier League predictions for game week number 17. And we're going to start off, because we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start off with, first of all, on Friday night, Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Spurs were at their very best against Newcastle. They beat Newcastle by 4-1 on Saturday. Oh, no, Sunday even, sorry. And Forest managed to get a draw against Wolves. Against Wolves, which kept Steve Cooper in the job, but I cannot see Forest getting anything out of this. I do think Spurs will one Wyatt. I do think that it's going to be Nottingham Forest 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. And we have a guest. His name is Mr. T. Day. Welcome him in, mate. And what are you saying in this game?
So thank you, Dan, for having me on to predict the upcoming games of this current weekend and give my little insight. So first off, we have Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. I will say, following Spurs' thrashing of Newcastle and Son making Trippier dance backwards, I feel like it's probably going to be 2-1 Spurs. 2-0 Spurs, I say. 2-0 Spurs. 2-0 Spurs. Actually, no, it might be 2... Yeah, 2-1 Spurs. 2-1 Spurs. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Because Spurs' defense is a bit shaky since the losses of Van der Ven. And they might be a bit of a worrisome team to play against up top, but defensively they suck. So yeah, I'll say 2-1. I say 2-1 Spurs. Next,
and can I move to high flying Bournemouth versus Luton Town? Now, Bournemouth managed to beat Manchester United on Saturday, the first time they've ever won at Old Trafford in their illustrious career. And Luton were almost about to beat Man City, and then 2 quick-fire goals from Man City ruined those dreams at Kenilworth Road. But Luton are a very good team. They've been involved in a lot of one goal scorelines, like 1-1, like 2-1s, 3-2s, and all sorts of that. 4-3 against Arsenal, let's mention that as well. So they've been in a good run of form. But I can't see. But away from isn't the best. I think Bournemouth will cruise this 2-1 against Bournemouth. And T, awesome all day. What are you saying in this game?
So we have Bournemouth versus Bournemouth versus Luton. Bournemouth just beat United 3-0. Sorry, Dan. But yeah, Bournemouth have just spanked United. So in my opinion, they're just going to completely and utterly steamroll Luton. Why am I sounding worse today? Steamroll Luton. Because like the last time Luton won an away game was all the way back in week 7, and when they beat Everton 2-1, which is kind of scary when you really think about it. Because if Luton can't win away games, they might be getting relegated. Anyway,
and we move to Chelsea versus Sheffield United now. Sheffield United are, let's say, in a really out of form. They lost to Brentford, and Arsenal and Chelsea lost to Everton. We'll get on to them there, and their turn of form in a couple of games' time. But Chelsea are not looking their best at the moment. They can't seem to finish a single thing. Reece James has literally come back from an injury. He came back from suspension, then got injured again, so he's through that again. And I'm gonna say that it'll be a boring 0-0 draw in this game. Now, I'm Mr. T awesome all day. What are you saying in this game?
On to the next team. It is Chelsea versus Sheffield United. Chelsea are very hard to predict side because Chelsea literally makes zero sense. They will challenge against teams where, like, they'll challenge against the big six every single time. But then as soon as it comes up against playing the teams that you'll need to beat, they end up crumbling and shaking and looking like they're freezing outside, and they need like a nice cup of tea and like a blanket or something, because they're just shaky out there. So I would probably say 0-0 with Sheffield United. And if they do draw with Sheffield United, I feel like Poch is even more on a hot seat, and more questions should be asked of him and his managerial status of Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion anyway. Hey, I'm just saying. Next we have...
Now we move to Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. Now, this is Man City's last game, so they don't play on game week 18 because they're heading off to the Club World Cup. Yes, this is the team that won the Champions League, joining like the Saudi Arabian champions, the Argentinian champions, all those two. It's a sea competition anyway, so yeah. Man City, it's the last game until, I don't know when, I think Boxing Day. So they're playing, and they're playing Brentford. It's Brentford and Arsenal and Man City's last game before, because Brentford play Man City only at Goalkeeper, and not anymore, because that is a game where Man City got back to winning ways against Luton. Only just, though, let me just say, only just beat Luton Town. And I'm going to say Haaland was missing. Haaland might be missing for the game today on Saturday as well. Now I'm going to say that it'll be Manchester City 3, Crystal Palace 0. And now Mr. T awesome all D. What are you saying in this game?
City versus Palace. See, I don't know how far KDB is from returning, because in all honesty, without KDB, City have been so flat. I know Rodri obviously was missing in the last game as well, and they only just narrowly won. But they just don't look like the City of old without KDB or Rodri. Maybe it is the Champions League burnout. You never know, because usually the only other team that's been able to win the Champions League and then still compete for the league next season is Liverpool. But since then, like, if you look throughout the history, teams always end up having this Champions League burnout in the Prem. I guess it's just all the Prem games that teams play. I don't know, man. So I'm probably going to go with a whole nice 2-1 win for Palace. They only lost to Liverpool because Ayew lost his head. And if he didn't lose his head, they would have drawn with Liverpool. I feel like, or even maybe, you never know, they might have got another little cheeky goal. Who knows? Unfortunately, Ayew's head fell off and rolled away. And fell off. I don't understand how it rolled out of Anfield, but hey ho, man. Next.
Now we move to Newcastle versus Fulham. Now let's discuss Fulham first. They have scored 10 goals in 2 games, beating West Ham and Forest by 5 goals respectively. What on earth? They found form at the busiest time of the year. They have done incredibly well this season, incredible in the last 2 games. But Newcastle, they've been dumped out of Europe by AC Milan. They were literally, if they won against Milan, they'd have been in the Champions League quarter-finals, last 16. They would have knocked out Paris Saint-Germain. That would have been a headline, but they've been dumped out of Europe completely. And I'm going to say that they want to respond, but I think this would be a lot of goals. I'm going to go with a 4-3 win to Newcastle United and Mr. T. Awesome all D. What are you saying in this game? I made you.
So we have Newcastle versus Fulham. Fulham have been on a tear. Absolute tear. Raul Jimenez looks like his old self again from before when David Luiz headbutted him and had his head leaking, unfortunately. But I'm glad to see that Raul Jimenez is back to form. He just scored a back heel goal without even facing the goal. Like he really is well and truly back. Fulham look dangerous. I do not see Newcastle being able to do anything against them. Like offensively, I feel like it's gonna be too much. Even though Newcastle will probably be back on a tear, but I feel like they're gonna try and attack too much and just get caught out by Fulham. I just genuinely just see it happening.
Made you the last game on the Saturday, which is Burnley versus Everton. Now, this is a big game down the bottom of the Premier League. Everton, since they've taken the takeover, they've taken 9 points or 7 points from like 3 games. It is crazy how they've done, because they beat Forest, they beat Forest, they beat Chelsea, and they also drew. I think they drew. They play here. And they beat Newcastle, so they got 9 points from 3 games, pretty much. I think, yeah. Oh, I lost. I don't know what they did. Yeah, they did beat Everton as well. So yeah, this is a mental game. Burnley's form, even though it isn't the best, I'm gonna go Everton to continue this winning run of 2-0. And Mr. T Awesome D, what he said for this game.
Next we have Burnley versus Everton. Everton, I don't know what Sean Dyche has these guys drinking. I don't know what's in what his special soup is or sauce. I don't know what he's doing with them. But Everton, ever since they got that point deduction, they sat forward like it's the last game of champs and they're trying to get like 14, 11, 20, 18, whatever rank people usually go for, down to you to determine. But I feel like that is what's happened. So I feel like Everton are just completely gonna just steamroll Burnley. And unfortunately, it's looking very sad for Burnley, who seem like they keep struggling against teams, which means they might be going down too. Anyway,
we go into Sunday's games, and starting off with Arsenal versus Brighton and Hove Albion now. Arsenal had a shock defeat to Aston Villa. So we'll go on to Villa and their season in a minute, but Arsenal lost to Villa in controversial style and fashion, may I say, as well. And Brighton did beat Burnley by 3 goals to 1. They came from behind, did Burnley, to win that game. Impressively as well, they did that as well. And I'm going to say in this game it'll be Arsenal 2, Brighton 2, and Arsenal will not be top of the Premier League anymore. And Mr. T also, as an Arsenal fan, mate, what he's saying in this game.
On to the next game, and the next game is Arsenal FC versus Brighton. Now I am an Arsenal fan, as most people know, and I feel like with Arsenal, we love to respond after an annoying game, because we just like the Aston Villa game. I don't want to talk too much about it because steam will start coming out my ears and my nose and my eyeballs. So what I'm gonna say is we should have at least drawn that game. And usually when Arsenal feel like they should have won a game, the next game they always come out 10 times harder. Look at what they did to Lens. We lost to Lens in the first week of the Champions League campaign, and then we just spanked them at home. So I'm saying this. Arsenal is going to destroy Brighton. I'm sorry, Brighton fans. I'm sorry. But, yeah, I'm sorry, innit? 3-0 Arsenal. I'm sorry. Right.
We move to Brentford versus Aston Villa now. Aston Villa beat Man City and Arsenal in a space of 4 days. That is absolutely ridiculous. Both at home, but their away form isn't the best. As we know, their away form isn't the best because the last away day they played, they did beat Bournemouth. Yes, it was only Bournemouth, but still they beat Bournemouth. Yes, they did beat Bournemouth, but I'm gonna say that Aston Villa will want to keep this form going. They're currently in third place, 2 points off top. If Arsenal got points and Liverpool got points, they could be top of the pile heading into the Christmas period. Oh my God, above! Wow. And these are the last games. These are the last games before Christmas. So whoever wins this is top at Christmas, and Arsenal and Aston Villa will win this game by 3-1. And Mr. T also will do what are you saying in this game?
On to the next game, we have Brentford versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa, to just beat Arsenal at home, to make it 20 games unbeaten or something silly like that at home. Impressive feat. Because last time I was here, I was talking about how crazy Aston Villa haven't lost since the turn of the year. But one thing is true though, Aston Villa are horrid away from home. The last time Aston Villa only won one of the last 3 games away from home. So I do not see them beating Brentford, because Brentford have won the last two of their last 3 games at home. So Aston Villa away from home, horrid. So I'm going to say 3-1 Brentford. Brentford have got that in the bag. I hope hopefully my FPL points keep going up with all the Brentford players I have.
And we move to West Ham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Wolves drew against Aston Villa. No, against Forest. And West Ham got absolutely wiped the floor. They got battered by Forest, by Fulham, sorry. And I'm going to say that it's going to be a big win for West Ham, 3-2. It'll be goals here today. It'll be goals, and Mr. T Awesome will do saying in this game. Now we move to the big one at 4:30 on the Sunday. Liverpool versus Manchester United. What can we say about our boys at the moment? We have been dumped out of Europe by Bayern Munich. It hurts to say that. It still so hurts to say that. But we've been dumped out of Europe. We came within 4th place. The first time. Now we're just going to focus on the league. But Liverpool, they're in the form of their lives at the moment. I cannot see us winning this. I can't even see us going to draw out of this game. I want to say we're going to get battered, but I want to say we want to show the fans what we can do at a big team like this. Can Liverpool stop Liverpool on top of the pile? No, they can't, because it'll be Man United, it'll be Liverpool 1, Man United 2, and Mr. T Awesome all day. What are you saying in this game?
The last game is Liverpool versus United. Now, you remember last time what happened here, right? The most historic scoreline we've ever seen. United got completely and utterly slapped about. Now, the thing is, United have been in awful form. Liverpool have been on a tear. Now, it might be worse than last time, but I say 4-0 Liverpool. I say 4-0 Liverpool because I don't want all my United friends, all my United friends in general, all my United friends. I don't want you guys going through pain. I don't want you guys going through more pain, so I'm going to say a little 4-0. I know it's embarrassing, but it's not as bad as the last scoreline, right? So, you got to take the good with the bad. Anyway, Dad, thank you for having me on to predict these scores. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you. And hopefully, change at United is on the horizon. Cheers, Dad.
Will win this Premier League. It's no more Champions League for a while because the round has finished. The draw is apparently being soon, so we'll react to the draw and see what happens in the Champions League last 16. But we'll see you all next week. No, I'll see you lot Monday with a an early Christmas video. It involves my girlfriend. So until then, boys, I will see you lot Monday for a girlfriend video. But who will be on top of the Christmas? Who will be on top of the Christmas tree this Christmas? Will it be Arsenal? Will it be Liverpool? Or will it be Aston Villa? Find all of that out and more next week. Until then, boys, have a lovely Christmas And well, and have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you lot on Boxing Day for a